And welcome back to the Bounce Back Leadership Show, where we talk about how we can all bounce back from our setbacks. We've got a special guest coming up today, but before we go there, I want to tell you a little bit about what we have coming up in the future. So we have a number of things that are coming up, really in regards to Bounce Back Leadership and the retreat that's being assembled for the first half of next year. We're going to be talking a lot more about that. We have 7 different points that we're going to cover in that retreat in order to help people to be able to bounce back from their setback. But somebody that's no stranger to being set back and bouncing back as well is our guest today. And I can't tell you how excited I am to have him on. He's a busy man. He is a New York Times, Wall Street Journal bestseller, and a USA Today bestseller. He is got many other achievements other than that, but I want to bring him on today because he can tell you more about what all he's done from his setback. Without any further ado, I want to bring on our guest, Mr. Kary Oberbrunner.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Hey, I've never seen my head that big. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Hey, this better?
No, you're good.
I am so glad to have you on today.
Hey, I am thrilled.
Phenomenal.
I am thrilled to be here. Listen, when you sent me the email, I was deeply honored. I still remember, Brian, I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember when you had that event where you brought your tight people that believe in you? Your wife was there. Your friends were there.
My personal advisory board.
Your advisory board. That's it. I
Yeah.
came over to your house when you were just starting out with this exciting vision that you have. And I just was so excited for you. And look at you today, man. You're a keynote speaker. You have podcasts. You have a retreat. Super proud of you.
Awesome. If you want to hear more, stay right there. Yeah. So things have changed in the last 10 years.
Yeah. It's been that long. I left the church being a pastor about 10 years ago this year. So yeah, a lot of good stuff has happened.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing today.
Man, it is exciting. So I am the CEO of Igniting Souls. And Igniting Souls, we say that we publish and protect your IP and turn it into 18 streams of income. And that's probably different than you've heard recently because you're like, IP, what's up with that? Well, IP is behind me. IP is books. IP could be many things. It could be PDFs, proven processes, logos, branding, you name it. But Brian, what got me excited about this is that I've always been passionate about helping people monetize their message, get their book out into the world, turn it into 18 streams of income. But what I've realized recently is that according to much research, the S&P 500 values companies, and those are the top 500 companies. And what they've realized is that in 1975, only 17% of the top companies in the world, only 17% were what we call intangible assets, meaning
Really?
books, patents, IP. Guess what's happened the last 45 years? It's now 90%.
Huh.
So if you look at Apple as a company, Apple's value is not in their iPhone. I mean, these are parts and pieces that any country can assemble.
Right.
Apple's value is based on their IP. And so I would say the same to you, Brian. And this is very exciting. This is a new direction because I've gotten around some very incredible, influential people, and they've really helped me to understand that, like, Brian's 90% of his value in his company is his IP. It's his brand. It's the way he does things. It's the charts in his books. It's the diagram. It's the proven process. I've always called it your framework, right? So
you gave me my framework.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm now excited, Brian, that your IP can actually be transferred to your descendants for future generations.
Yeah.
And so most people don't realize this. Most people are just like, I'm just running a business. I don't know what's going on. And you take all that I just said, then you layer it with what I call Web3. Web3 is the internet of today. And we're right on the edge of what's the shift between Web 2 to Web 3. And a lot of people, you know them, Brian, a lot of people are like, oh, if I was only around when Web 1 started, where, Amazon and Apple, and if I would have bought the first Bitcoin ever. Everyone says about Web 1 and they look back with regret, but they don't realize that we're in Web 3 and we're about to hit the biggest revolution in human history. And there's a lot of people who are not going to be aware. And they're going to look back 5-10 years and they're going to be like, whoa, where was I? What was I thinking? So my goal, and the goal of our Igniting Souls conference this year, is to help people onboard into Web 3. And if people don't think it's serious, just literally go to the internet, type in Starbucks, and type in Web 3, and type in Apple, and type in NFTs. And what you're going to begin to see is you're going to see Starbucks is about ready to roll out a huge thing. And they literally said, our goal is to onboard our customers into Web 3. Starbucks. And Apple just started selling NFTs in their app store. Every Warriors basketball last spring, they created an NFT where fans could buy this digital asset, and all during the playoffs, as Steph Curry and the Warriors achieved different milestones, the digital asset holders were given this bonus and this perk and this opportunity. And here's what's interesting, Brian. You're a brand. I'm a brand. We could be using these digital assets to give our friends, and like, you could have your retreat, Brian. Think about this. Your upcoming retreat could be issued as an NFT. And with that NFT, now they have access to, I want the NFT where I also get Brian to speak. And I want to buy the NFT where I also get Brian to coach. And so Ohio State, name and likeness, you hear a lot about NIL, name and likeness. Yeah. All of these shifts are happening based on Web3. And they're now going to get incredible perks. We call them off-chain benefits, off-blockchain benefits that are now going to be given to people who are fans.
Wow. So what does that mean? I mean, obviously, my retreat could be one thing, but I mean, what does that mean to the listeners that are out there? How can they use this information?
So right now, if you were to go buy an Ohio State ticket, they would not give you a paper ticket. they would say, go to an app called Ticketmaster. We're going to give you an email link. You're going to click that email link. That ticket is going to give you access to a seat, a row, and a day. And you will literally, whether you realize it or not, movie tickets, Buckeye tickets, concert tickets, everything today is being issued as a digital asset. Now, here's where non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and digital assets diverge. Okay, because again, people are like, they get all confused with the terms. Just think of an NFT as something that's a one of one, just like your Ticketmaster is a one of one. But here's the difference between an NFT. It's verified by blockchain technology, which means no one can create a fake, no one can steal it, and it's timestamped and it's authentic. And the art term is provenance. Okay, that means the Mona Lisa or whatever you have with art, who had it before and who had it before, and what's the origin story. Okay, and so with NFTs, you can see the origin story. You can see, oh my gosh, I bought that NFT, and guess who owned it before me? Tom Brady. Yeah. So now the value raises. But here's what's interesting. I'm going to pull out a book off the shelf, and I'll give you a real example. C.S. Lewis here. This book was sold probably in the 70s, and it was sold, and it's a big book, and it probably was sold back then for like $3 or something, because back then paperbacks didn't cost a lot. But here's what's interesting. C.S. Lewis made royalties once, and even though this book was probably then resold at half-price books, and then maybe sold again at a garage sale, and then maybe sold again and again. This book could have been sold 5 or 6 times. And guess what? C.S. Lewis made profit one time. Guess what happens? When this is an NFT, C.S. Lewis makes profit every time it's resold. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
So this is what I'm trying to get people to realize. Like, you're a brand. And when you create a digital asset done through what's called blockchain technology, which our company totally has a process for this. But now that author, whenever they sell anything, their descendants will make perpetual royalties forever, like automatically, because it's a smart contract. You couldn't even change it if you wanted to. When you first create that digital asset, you put in there secondary sales go to this wallet. And right now, Brian, I have on my browser a little fox is an extension, and it's called MetaMask. So what's interesting is that little MetaMask digital wallet follows me wherever I go on the internet. So I don't want people to think like, oh, your digital wallet just is on your phone. Yes, it is as an app, but it's also on your browser. So check this out, Brian. The new internet, you're not going to access via username and password. You know how like in the first web one, we did username, password. In the second web 2, we did social login. So you would click Facebook and it would borrow your credentials from Facebook so you wouldn't have to create a new account. Well, in web 3, you're going to access that through your digital wallet. And here's what's going to be in your digital wallet, Brian. Where'd you go to college?
University of Toledo.
So University of Toledo, trust me, their admissions people right now, their leadership is probably having a meeting right now saying in the spring, how can we issue the diplomas as a piece of paper and as an NFT? And here's why. Cuts down on paper, environment, good for the environment. Authenticity. You can't fake a diploma. You can literally see that the University of Toledo issued that and that it was yours. So now when you go on LinkedIn and people are like, hey, I went to Harvard, and you're like, really? Did they? I don't know. Now you can click a button right now on LinkedIn that will link your digital asset to blockchain technology where they now verify and they say, no, he didn't go to Harvard, or he did go to Harvard. So all commerce is based on trust. And this is why blockchain is called a trustless technology, where you don't have to have trust because it's already built in. So we live in a world right now where deep fakes everything, right? Fake news, deep fake. Did Obama really say that? I don't know. And what happens now is you're able to verify truth. And that's why one of a book that I read, no, I didn't write this one, but a book is called Blockchain Technology, The Truth Machine. Isn't this
that
like
a good book to read?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. If I had to recommend a couple books, I would say read The Internet of Money.
The Internet of Money.
Internet of Money. There's 3 volumes. It's from a Greek gentleman named Andreas Antopoulos, who is it's amazing. Like, I grew up as a pastor, Brian. I didn't understand money. And when people are like, well, hold on, crypto's crap because the dollar's based on the gold standard. Not since 1971. See, there's this myth out there that says, whoa, crypto's bad because, it's based on computers, and dollars are good because they're backed on gold. No, they're not. This is why we have inflation. The government can literally say, let's import $50 million more into the economy. And when they do, they actually rob from the people because no value was created to issue that new currency. It's called fiat currency. With cryptocurrency, you actually have to create value. It's called mining. And so
you said a couple of books.
The Internet of Money and The Truth Machine.
The Truth Machine.
And then I'm gonna pump my book, and here's why. It comes out next month. And nice. I wrote Blockchain Life so that my 70-year-old parents can understand Web3. Like, I took everything that's out there, and I went about only that deep, though, Brian. I only went about that deep on about 22 points. I'm talking augmented reality, virtual reality, NFTs, all the things that Web3 is bringing. I basically said, here's how it came about, and here's why it left Web 1 and Web 2. So real quick, here's an example. How do you...
Is that name?
What's that? Blockchain Life.
Name there? Blockchain Life?
Blockchain Life.
Okay.
So here's a quick example.
All right.
One of the components is called access. So how did you access the internet in Web 1? Desktop. That's it. Right. Like, you remember those days. And I'll tell you what, that created boundaries. Like, I'm going online, I'm going offline. And so it created an internet that had boundaries. Then along comes Web 2, and now we have mobile. Well, mobile means the internet goes with me. And mobile means you're talking to me, and I can be checking my phone, and so mobile created this integration between physical and digital. And there's actually a term called phygital. People can Google it. It's literally how we've merged. And then Web 3 is wearables. Right now I have my Oura Ring. So now I'm online here, and I'm online here. And this is just the beginning. Oh my gosh, Brian.
What's the Oura Ring do?
Oh, Oura Ring is my sleep coach.
Oura
Ring,
like an Apple Watch, like that?
Even better. I mean, so the Oura Ring says, here's your REM, here's your patterns. Hey, it gives you prompts. It's getting to be late. You should probably think about bed. Hey, you went too hard yesterday. You should probably rest. Like, it basically, sleep is one of the least tapped in high performance strategies. And I got serious about it about 2 years ago. Cause I mean, you probably remember my days, Brian. I'm like 4 hours up in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm legitimately an insomniac. Okay.
Mhm.
So Aura Ring, man, like I'm now about seven
Awesome.
hours. Yeah.
Wow. And how does the Aura Ring tell you that?
Oh, so it connects to your phone.
Ah, okay.
So I'll go to the Aura app right now, and there's I already got that many calories for the day.
Cool.
Because I
Even
I worked out this morning with Chet and the boys.
nice.
But last night, man, see, no lies, 5 hours and 45, not good, man. But
Wow.
my sleep efficiency was 87%, which
Okay.
means that I actually did pretty good. My deep sleep, get this, Brian, my deep sleep used to be 10 minutes.
Ah.
It's an hour now.
Oh, an hour?
An hour, a deep sleep, of deep sleep.
Hmm.
But
How much should it be?
well, you look at that. I'm pretty good on the chart, blue. Where I'm not good is latency. You know what that means?
No.
Latency means when I hit my head on the pillow, I was out in 3 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
which means that I'm probably overly tired.
Ah.
You want to kind of be able to be, latency means like how quick do you go to bed? And if you're overly tired, it takes you're just out like right away.
And that's bad.
That's bad. Like,
Huh.
yeah. So,
This is all new to me.
it's crazy, man. Like, I would recommend people go to Unhackable for high performance.
Yeah.
That's one of my books about how to get your dreams to come true in 30 days. It's 30 daily missions, but it's a lot about high performance and not getting distracted. But man, I'll tell you what, I have your podcast is about setbacks and comebacks.
Yeah.
So I can definitely talk about a setback if you
Tell
want.
me. Tell us.
Okay. So when I knew all this stuff was coming about 18 months ago. I'm a futurist guy. It's a pro and a con. You can be too much in the future where you're not present. So I
Mhm.
mean, I get that. So it's a pro and a con. But I saw these trends happening about 18 months ago for the first time. And I knew we needed to shift Igniting Souls. Like I just knew. Like I knew that I could either be somebody who hides this and profits off the tribe and is like, well, I'm going to pretend that this stuff's not coming. So I'm going to just keep selling them the same business strategies and milk this thing, and make money off people, teaching them stuff that I know is not going to work anymore. But instead, Brian, I'm like, I gotta be honest. And so I started to tell people about this, and not everyone's ready for it.
Right.
I mean, listen, a lot of people don't like change.
Most people don't like change.
Yeah. I've heard the only person who likes change is a baby.
Right. Exactly.
With their diaper. Okay.
Mhm.
So no, without a doubt, there were some people who Kary's crazy. What's he thinking? He's, he doesn't care. Like I heard it all, man. I heard everything. Oh my gosh. I had people quit the company.
Mm.
And listen, I don't hold it against them.
Sure.
I probably went too fast.
Mm.
Like true story. Like you can be a visionary and go too fast and miss people. So I just know that it was a very tough year. Very tough.
Mm-hmm.
We rethought everything. We ended some programs that weren't. I didn't think I could look in the mirror with integrity and I'm never going to sell someone something that I don't think is in their best interest.
Right.
I think it's yucky. I think it's authentic. I think you might make money in the short term, but you lose trust. And so I basically started to look at every product we offer, which is a lot. And I said, we need to rethink and say, what is the best for our clients? And you know what, Brian? Some of my clients are still with me, but I lost a bunch. But here, you've seen me blow up. I've gained incredibly big influencers because I think that they're realizing Yeah, what Kary's actually saying is true, and we can either be fake and pretend it's not. Like, I'll tell you what, Brian, right now there's I could name names. Right now there's influencers who are freaking out because their ads are no longer working the way they used to. Their programs are no longer selling, and they're faking it. And they're like, "Oh man, things are great. Oh man, you got to buy this thing." And they're freaking out right now because they're about to realize, their people are about to realize the truth.
Wow, that's a lot to take in, and I'm not sure how to process all that.
But you've always wanted me to be honest, and so
Absolutely.
so but this is probably one of my favorite interviews because I've never shared this. You're a friend. This is live. I just haven't shared this honesty before because no one's asked me, and a lot of people don't have the backstory. They don't have the background.
Yeah. Wow. This is awesome. So you would say that that setback. How would you say there's what the setback was in that?
The setback was that a third of my team jumped, and half my clients probably left, and I was okay with it. Like, it was tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be like, "Hey, it was great," but I just knew that this is coming, and we can either pretend it's not, or I can educate the people that I say I care about.
So the bounce back is happening right now.
Oh my gosh. People have no idea the amount that, I just filed a patent today. I got a patent filed.
Nice.
For this new technology that we've developed that's going to change the industry. And why do I know that? Because investors have heard and they're starting to circle. All right. So I'm not having to go out and be like, "Hey, what do you think?" And, "Hey, are you willing to invest?" I have people coming to me saying, "Oh my gosh." And I haven't even tried to tell people because it wasn't patent pending yet. And so I wanted to protect it. And it's incredible, Brian. So I can't share that fully yet, but it is in the new book. It comes out October 20th, but I'm going to do a soft launch.
Okay.
I'm only going to launch the Kindle on October 20th. And then get this. This is pretty cool. I'm issuing an NFT for everyone who does an Amazon review. So I'm basically saying, look, NFT, it's not for sale, so I'm not bribing anybody. But I'm like, look, if you do an Amazon review, I'm gifting you an NFT. And guess what that NFT is going to do? Entrance into the launch team. Yeah. And the launch team is going to learn incredible things between October 20th and December 6th, my 46th birthday. And on my 46th birthday, I'm going to launch Blockchain Life.
Wow.
Super excited.
That is awesome. I'm not. Wow. So, if you would just, we need to close this this meeting down because we could just go on and on forever.
Right.
But tell me and tell us if there's something you would leave us with. What would it be?
I'd say listen to people, but trust your gut. Listen, there's a lot of losers out there who say, "I don't care what people say. I'm just going to trust my gut." I listen to all kinds of people. I worked out with Chet today. I'm like, "Chet, tell me everything." Like, my wife tells me everything. Like, you're stupid if you don't listen to people. But at the end of the day, you gather all the information, but you need to trust your gut. And I'm a person of faith. So for me, it's I'm gonna lean heavy on God and pray and fast and seek Him and say, here's the wise counsel. But at the end of the day, you may have everyone leave you. And you need to be, you need to say, like, I couldn't have done this, Brian. I mean, I'm a recovering people pleaser. Oh my gosh, I could not have done this. So I had to grow. I had to grow and say, even if everyone leaves, am I still being honest with what I think God wants me to do?
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Great way to leave. Great way to leave. I love it.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your audience. This is not just my story. They have God giving them dreams. You have incredible things. You know, I'm not special than anybody else. And so I would just say, listen, man, take action. The word entrepreneur means bearer of risk.
And there you go. Bearer of risks.
Bearer of risk. One who bears risk. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you very much, Kary. I appreciate you being on today. Hey, would you hang out in the green room for me?
Yeah, I'll hang out. Yeah. Yep. I got a call coming in a few, but I'll hang out. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you. All right. Take care.
See ya.
Bye. Oh my gosh. I had no idea. That was a great interview. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it as well. But I want to make sure that we all are doing that. So what I'm going to do is this tomorrow at about the same time, maybe a little bit later, maybe closer to 10. I'm going to start the retreat call where we're talking about how we can all bounce back from our setbacks. So that's going to be something that we're going to have the conversation on tomorrow at about 10. Hopefully you can join us. If there's ever any questions, by all means, let me know. And as always, keep one eye on the road. Take care.